Good morning. Hope you're all fine and obey the rules and regulations of the government by sitting at home. Shall we learn history? The name of our first topic is Forest Society and Colonialism. The disappearance of a forest is referred to as deforestation. Deforestation is not a recent problem. The process began many centuries ago, but under the colonial rule, it became more systematic and extensive. Let us look at some of the causes of the deforestation. As a first part of the topic, we are going to learn the reason for deforestation during the colonial period. We are going to analyze the reason for deforestation during the colonial period. In 1600, approximately 1/6 of India's landmass was under cultivation. As population increased, the demand for food went up. Peasants extended the boundaries of cultivation by clearing forests. The British directly encouraged the production of commercial crops like jute, sugar, wheat, and cotton. The demand for these crops increased in 19th century Europe, where food grains were needed to feed the growing urban population and raw materials were required for industrial production. To meet these new demands, they began to clear the forest areas to use it for cultivation. Let us analyze the second reason. In the early 19th century, the attitude of colonial government towards the forests were entirely different. According to the colonial government, the forests were unproductive. They were considered to be wilderness that had to be brought under cultivation so that the land could yield agricultural products and revenue. In this way, they can enhance the income of the state. That's the reason why between 1880 and 1920, cultivated area rose by 6.7 million hectares. Let us analyze the third reason. By the early 19th century, England faced a strange problem. That was a shortage of oak forests. This created a problem of timber supply for Royal Navy. How could English ships be built without a regular supply of strong and durable timber? How could imperial power be protected and maintained without ships? That is the reason why by the 1820s, search parties were sent to explore the forest resources of India. Within a decade, trees were being felled on massive scale and vast quantities of timber were being exported from India. The expansion of railway was another reason. The spread of railways from the 1850s created a new demand. Railways were essential for colonial trade and for the movement of imperial troops. To run locomotives, wood was needed as fuel, and to lay railway lines, sleepers were essential to hold the tracks together. As the railways tracks spread through India, a large and larger number of trees were felled. As early as 1850s, in the Madras presidency alone, 35,000 trees were being cut annually for sleepers. The government gave out contracts to individuals to supply the required quantities. These contractors began cutting trees indiscriminately. Forests around the railway tracks started disappearing. Plantation was another reason. It had a devastating impact. Large areas of natural forests were also cleared to make way for tea, coffee, and rubber plantations to meet Europeans' growing need for these commodities. The colonial government took over the forest and gave vast areas to European planters at cheap rates. These areas were enclosed and cleared of forest and planted with tea or coffee. Hi children, we learned the first part of the topic, that is the different reasons of deforestation in India during the colonial period. Shall we revise? Try to find answer to this question. Thank you.